The election of 1800. In the election of 1800, the Federalists were represented by John Adams and Charles Pinckney. The Democratic Republicans were represented by Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr. At this time, the Federalists had been weakened by a couple of things. They were weakened by the unpopularity of the Alien and Sedition Acts and by the internal feud between Adams and Hamilton. So the Federalists had gained popularity, they'd gained offices, they'd gained the presidency, and then the Federalists had started to weaken. They had started to be known as an elitist party. The common man didn't feel as comfortable joining, and then they passed the Alien and Sedition Acts under a Federalist president. The Alien Act was going to keep foreign citizens or foreign visitors from becoming citizens for a longer period of time, and it was going to give the president the power to deport any alien or foreigner that was deemed to be dangerous, and then also allow the president to put any foreigner in jail if they were deemed dangerous. The Sedition Act was going to keep everyone from being able to write or say anything negative about any laws in place or any people who were in power. So you couldn't talk about anyone who had a United States office. You can talk about the president. You couldn't say bad things about the president or any of his laws or any of the other members of government. So by passing those acts, people felt like they were taking away some of their rights or at least infringing on them, and these were very unpopular. So that weakened the Federalists. Then Adams and Hamilton were supposed to be on the same side. Alexander Hamilton was one of the main names associated with federalism. He came up with a lot of facets of this group. And so when John Adams and Alexander Hamilton were having internal feuding within the Federalist Party, that also weakened them. So the Federalists focused their campaign on Jefferson. There wasn't a lot of good that the Federalists could say about themselves. So instead of the Federalists focusing on what's good about federalism and what's good about their candidates, John Adams and Charles Pinckney, they instead focused on Jefferson and focused on the bad things about him. They accused him of being an atheist. They accused him of stealing money from the poor and of having an affair with a slave. So they were really trying to drag Jefferson through the dirt and make him seem like a very bad choice rather than trying to make one of their candidates seem like the right choice. In the election, Jefferson finished with the same number of electoral votes as his supposed running mate, Aaron Burr, who surprisingly refused to concede. So despite the Federalist attempt to make Jefferson seem like a bad choice, he still got a lot of the electoral votes, and Jefferson and Burr tied with the same number of electoral votes. Well, they were both running for the Democratic Republican Party, but at this point they hadn't really had to say what they were running for, president or vice president. It was kind of understood, or at least most people thought it was kind of understood, but they didn't have to declare it because before this time, the person who came in first place with electoral votes would be the president, the person who came in second place would be the vice president. So this situation led to the 12th Amendment, which states that a candidate must stipulate his desired office. So Burr was supposed to be running for vice president, but whenever he tied with Jefferson and saw the possibility of becoming president himself, he didn't concede. He said, oh no, I got the same number of votes, I'd like to be president. Well, he didn't get it, so Jefferson became president and Burr became vice president. Jefferson finally won the tie-breaking vote in the House of Representatives. And he swept the Federalists out of office. So, the election of 1800 was important because it showed how the Federalist Party had been weakened, how they had to take to mudslinging, dragging Jefferson through the dirt rather than promoting their own candidate. And it also brought the 12th Amendment about, where an individual had to stipulate what office they were actually running for. And it was also important because Jefferson became president as a member of the Democratic-Republican Party, and that swept the Federalists out of office. So where the Federalists had gained popularity, you had seen them weaken, and then at this point they were swept out of office, and they weren't going to have as much of an impact on politics or government from this time onward. To find out more about how to ace your test and get more practice for your test, click the study guide. Learn why Mometrix is the best and smartest decision you could make for your test prep choice. We have done all the work cutting through the fluff to give you what you need to perform well on your exam. Click the study guide to get started now. And thank you for watching and learning with us.